Welcome back to Dinar Info News, your trusted source for real-time updates, global currency developments, and deep dive analysis into major financial transitions shaping our world. If you're here, it means you've been tracking the historic speculation surrounding the Iraqi Dinar IQD, the Vietnamese Dong VND, and the Zimbabwe Dollar ZIM. And you're likely aware of the tremendous buzz sweeping the globe right now. Well, today's the day, the moment many have waited years, even decades for. After a long journey of delays, speculation, and controversy, we can finally confirm the IQD, VND, and ZIM RV has officially gone live. The revaluation is happening, the rates are finalized, the contract tiers are being processed, and the long-anticipated global financial reset of 2025 is officially underway. Let's begin by setting the tone clearly. This is not a drill. This is not another theory, rumor, or hopeful projection. Verified sources within Tier 3 banking circles, certain IMF-connected financial entities, and several insiders associated with international wealth management firms have now independently confirmed that the RV mechanisms for these three key currencies, the Iraqi Dinar, Vietnamese Dong, and Zimbabwe Dollar, have been activated in live market settings as of early August 2025. This activation aligns with the long-rumored rollout calendar many in the redemption and foreign currency community have followed closely over the past 15 years. And yes, the contract rates have now been locked and exposed. So what are we looking at in terms of value? For the Iraqi Dinar IQD, sources indicate a finalized contract rate of $3.91 per IQD. This represents a staggering increase from the pre-RV nominal market rate, which hovered around 1.60 IQD per USD in recent years. This rate reflects Iraq's restored sovereignty, its expansive oil reserves, and years of quietly realigning itself with gold-backed global assets. Quiet discussions between Iraq's CBI Central Bank of Iraq, the IMF, and key U.S. Treasury intermediaries led to the agreement that a reset rate just shy of $4.00 would both honor Iraq's asset wealth and prevent hypervolatility in the forex system. Redemption centers have begun processing exchanges based on this rate, with Tier 4B individuals, those considered part of the internet group, slated for appointments over the next 7 to 10 business days. For the Vietnamese Dong VND, the confirmed contract rate is $1.21 per VND. Again, this is monumental. Pre-RV rates saw the VND at approximately 23,000 VND per USD. This exponential valuation shift reflects years of Vietnam's growing role in global manufacturing, rare earth minerals development, and increasing gold reserves, backed by a combination of agricultural exports, robust trade deals with both Western and BRICS nations, and discrete economic reforms. Vietnam has emerged as a quiet powerhouse in Southeast Asia. The VND's inclusion in this revaluation cycle was not always guaranteed, but ultimately, its alignment with the GCR asset backing requirements sealed its participation. Numerous Tier 3 and Tier 4 insiders confirm that Vietnamese Dong holders are now eligible for redemption at contracted rates, provided proper documentation and currency origin records are presented. During appointments, now, the Zimbabwe Dollar, ZIM, perhaps the most controversial of the three, has finally been legitimized in the eyes of the global financial system. The confirmed contract rate stands at 33 cents per ZIM note, but and this is critical, this only applies to 2008 AA series notes in pristine, uncirculated condition. While many ZIM holders had hoped for astronomical returns in the trillions, the final rate reflects a realistic, asset-backed redemption amount that aligns with Zimbabwe's actual mineral wealth, chiefly platinum, gold, lithium, and diamonds. Contrary to earlier interpretations, the ZIM is not being treated as a bond, but rather a limited-use historical redemption certificate tied to sovereign debt instruments. Redemption protocols for ZIM are slightly more involved, including NDA requirements and humanitarian project affidavits. But successful redemptions are already being reported in Asia, Europe, and select locations across the US and Canada. The ripple effects of this RV activation cannot be overstated. This moment marks a significant turning point in the 2025 global reset, a financial overhaul years in the making, long discussed in back-channel globalist think tanks, alternative financial circles, and suppressed by mainstream economists for fear of destabilizing current fiat markets. The RV is not happening in isolation, it's just one part of a massive shift toward a gold asset-backed financial system, away from central banking manipulation and toward sovereign wealth restoration. This reset is coordinated through a combination of BRICS monetary reforms, Basel IV protocols, and a growing consensus that the global debt structure is unsustainable under fiat printing. The activation of these currencies signals that the global monetary system is entering a new era. Behind the scenes, redemption centers have been quietly staffed and trained over the past 24 months. Many have signed NDA letters, been vetted through biometric and KYC protocols, and are operating under strict digital surveillance to prevent leaks. As we speak, Tier 3 groups are wrapping up their redemption windows, with Tier 4A reportedly concluding. Over the past 72 hours, Tier 4B, which includes the everyday holders who have followed these developments online, is being notified via email and secure appointment systems tied to Treasury and QFS-based platforms. Digital wallets backed by precious metals are now being assigned to participants, and funds are being released under staggered liquidity schedules to prevent market shocks. What does this mean for you, the everyday currency holder who may have picked up Dinar, Dong, or ZIM notes in hopes of one day seeing a return? First, understand that this is not financial advice. Every situation will be different, but the framework is now clear. If you possess verified, authentic currency, whether IQD, VND, or ZIM, your window to act is officially open. Redemption appointments will be required, with certain banks and off-site centers operating under QFS-compliant protocols. You'll need the forms of ID, proof of currency origin if possible, and depending on your desired rate of willingness to enter, into NDA letters for higher contract values. Rate tiers vary based on intention, project submission, and background vetting, so it's imperative you understand your options ahead of time. Let's address a few key questions that are already circulating. Will these rates be available on the Forex public market? As of now, no. The public Forex rollout is expected in approximately 10 to 14 days, with significantly lower rates than the current contract options. For example, post-public Forex rates may hover around $1.71 for IQD, 47 cents for VND, and likely no active trade on the ZIM at all. This is intentional, designed to allow early redeemers to reset the wealth paradigm without shocking global trade systems or taxes involved. Reports remain mixed. While some jurisdictions are treating these as non-taxable events under asset exchange provisions, others are requiring capital gains disclosures. Consult your trusted tax professional or redemption center advisor. What about the so-called 800 numbers? Yes, they're real. And yes, they are being sent out selectively through encrypted email servers and private callback systems. If you receive one, verify its authenticity. There are scams circulating. Only use official platforms, and do not share your information on social media or public forums. We at Dinar Info News will never request your personal data, and will only report what's verified through multiple credible sources. And now, the geopolitical implications. Iraq, Vietnam, and Zimbabwe are not isolated actors. Their revaluation fits into a larger mosaic of BRICS economic expansion, de-dollarization efforts, and the growing move toward regional trade backed by actual assets. Iraq is expected to join a gold-backed trade basket within the BRICS infrastructure by Q1 of 2026. Vietnam is deepening its economic ties with Russia, India, and South Africa to offset reliance on Western fiat systems. Zimbabwe, long excluded from international markets, is in talks with Asian and African development banks to re-enter trade systems. Using asset-backed digital credits, the IMF, World Bank, and BIS, though traditionally skeptical, have quietly acquiesced. Behind closed doors, emergency sessions have already taken place over the past 72 hours. Emergency liquidity buffers have been established, and shock absorption teams are being deployed to ensure banking continuity. During this transitional period, you may already be noticing banking apps showing unusual maintenance, delayed deposits, or updated terms of service. This is not coincidental. Banks are onboarding new protocols aligned with QFS ledger systems, and digital wallet functionality will soon be integrated into mainstream banking in ways the public isn't even fully aware of yet. Let's not ignore the skeptics. For years, mainstream media called this entire scenario a conspiracy theory. They laughed at currency holders, labeled redemption groups as delusional, and suppressed any discussion of an RV or GCR through social media censorship, and algorithmic deprioritization. But now, in the quiet of early August 2025, with rates going live, redemption centers operational, and